Keith Tebow from FRC Media. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. And it is time for our weekly conversation with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan, who joins us again. Mayor, how are you today?
Doing great, Keith. How about you?
Good. The past couple of mornings, neither one of us are meteorologists, but we've had some heavy rains, heavy downpours the past 2 mornings. And as we're recording this, it's Wednesday morning, June 28th. There was accidents on the Braga Bridge this morning, I believe, related to the weather. We all know that in the city of Fall River, as in other communities, there are spots where, flooding does occur during these flash rainstorms. Anything of note over the past 2 days, or just the problem spots being the problem spots with this weather?
Yeah, I think that's basically what sums it up. The problem spots did not change. Oak Grove Avenue, kind of over near where I live, definitely flooded out. We had problems with some floating trash cans there. I saw the Stafford Square. I was down there. It had already kind of receded by the time I got there. There was the houses all the way over to Tiffany. A few of them got hit again with flooding. It's it's the low areas of the city where it definitely congregates when we got 1.5 inches of rain in a half hour, and that's just more than most of the drains and anything can handle. We had a number of popped sewer caps all over the city because of the pressure of the water, and it was just too much. But I was out there. I saw the water department. I saw DCM, and I saw the police, and even our fire department. I know they were going on a few calls. So we try to maintain it, wait till the rain lets up, and then go out and fix the problems. And again, that's Fall River. You got to deal with problems as they come, and 1.5 inches of rain in half an hour is definitely something we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I know. And it seems like, it's when we get these short bursts of rain. If it's a consistent rain throughout the day, it's not as bad as you said, 1.5 inches of rain in a half hour. That's just too much too soon. And that has always been an issue here in Fall River. I know I came in, excuse me, coming in from west. The Braga Bridge was shut down this morning. So I cut through, over Route 6 and down Duval Street. There's a couple of puddles there. Mainly, I think, because of the construction, right? There's no regular drains there because of construction. And I also did see a couple of puddles near the Bristol Community College area. But again, to be expected, and we just wait it out, and hopefully we won't get too many of these throughout the summer. We do need rain, but not in such a short period of time.
That's right.
Rain is good, but not 1.5 inches in a half hour. All right, moving on. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to cover an event near the bioreserve in the far north end, where the city has acquired some land, the former Adirondack Farm, which you hope that will be used someday for a experimental and discovery center, an educational center, part of the bioreserve. I know this has been talked about for quite some time, and now it looks like it's coming to fruition.
Yeah, I do have big dreams for that whole place. When you look at the amount of land we have there and what we can do with it. And again, it's all open space. So it rolls right down to the drinking water. I went to the Raptor Center up in Vermont, and I saw what they did with the injured birds and how they brought in the school kids and then had a little classroom, and we could talk about the native animals to that whole bioreserve, and have hopefully a little recovery center, and have kids doing some hands-on experiment along the water. I just think it would be great, because it is just a nice piece of land, and it has potential with both of the buildings that are on there, whether it's the house or the barn. Take a little bit of money and we'll get going, but we do own it now, and going forward, that's what we would look to do, get it into somebody's hands that can manage it. I mean, we have Mike Labassi out there. He knows what to do, and make sure we coordinate with all the schools, Catholic, charter, and public, so we get the kids up there and take a walk in a real natural setting and talk about nature and climate. And I just think it's a win-win-win, and I'm just glad I was part of it.
And the good thing is that there's already been money dedicated to this. The city has received a number of grants. There was a state earmark in the state budget for this. You're using some of the ARPA money to go toward this. And it looks like, a good chunk of this will be covered by money that's already available, correct?
Right. You look at our partners that were there yesterday from the state representatives, Viola Schmidt, Alan Sylvia, our state senator, Mike Roderick's right out front on this. Everybody knows how important this is to our city, because as you drive into the bioreserve from that side, you're going to go right past that farm. And if there was a sign about, where a place where people could go in and, buy something made in Fall River, or go to a class, or talk about the red-tailed hawks or the bald eagles on the other side of the water, I just think it would be great. And I do think that's where you really have on hands learning for the kids, whether it's from grades K to 8 or K to 12. We can have people working out there in the summer. It really is. It is exciting. I think it's something we're going to get done and make it into a show place for all of our residents, and a place to go on a Sunday afternoon and take a walk.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on to other issues. We spoke last week about all the events that are going to be taking place next week on the waterfront for the 4th of July celebration and fireworks. We talked, about the parking. I want to go over this again for people who may have not watched us last week and are tuning in this week. Parking is an issue, has always been an issue down on the waterfront, but I know that you're working hard with, some partners in the area for parking next week.
Right. So if we go down the list of parking areas where we have, obviously this is a little bit of a hike, but gets you out of the traffic. Also, the Hood Street lot over near Morton can take a number of cars there. Duval Street, we have one. President Avenue, we have where Almax Diner is. That'll be available for evening parking, all the spots in there. 10 North Main Street, way up here near the Government Center. People can park in the back of there. Anawan Street, the Pearl Street Garage. Now, some of these involve walks where we understand. And again, even Duval Street itself, we have gotten the state to definitely give us a break there. And they're not going to close down those parking areas all along Duval. So we'll have those also. And again, people may have to walk a little bit. Obviously, you can go over near the gates and come back that way. But it's going to be worth walking to. When we look at the events that we're going to have down there, it's really going to be a special night for the city. And we hope that everybody comes out and has some fun and watches the fireworks. And again, it's going to start at Bicentennial with the Army Band playing some patriotic music and having the artillery do a salute. We'll have the disc jockey down at Heritage State Park with the food trucks. And in the middle, we'll have face painting and caricatures and a little Troy City Beer Garden on the city pier with Primo's wine, and people can go over there and have a drink. And that's going to be truly a great place to watch the fireworks. So, hey, if you got no plans, come on down. We'd love to see you.
And one of the things that's important to note is some of the lots that you mentioned are actually privately owned.
Right.
And those organizations are donating the lots to the city that day, correct? And they're not charging for parking.
No, those are free spots. We had questioned them on whether they were going to charge, and they said, no, you can use it.
Always good stuff. All right, Mayor, enjoy your 4th of July holiday and enjoy the long weekend. People may have an extra long weekend coming up, and we'll talk again soon. I appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks, Keith.
All right. And thank you for joining us here on FRC Media. Have a great rest of your week.